Well, good morning folks. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning and myself and my brother Alan over here. Hello. We are in Iceland. I apologise for both squinting here. I've got my head torch. It's still pretty dark outside, so we're using that to light up the inside of the van at the moment. Yeah, we arrived last night and picked up this camper van from Kukucampers, which we'll do a little plug on later on, and we'll show you the inside of the van. It's a cracker. But yeah, picked it up quite late, it was dark, and basically drove along Route 1 to Samyang, where we've parked up at a campsite for the night. Yeah, we're going to get some coffee and porridge, and then get out, take a few pictures of this absolutely stunning waterfall, and then head further along Route 1, see where we go. Catch you in a bit. I've had breakfast and went out round about where, as I said earlier, we're parked up at Samyang waterfall, which is, I'll show you the camera over this direction, but directly in front of the camp, the campsite, there's another waterfall. You need to excuse me because I don't actually know the name of it. I will put it along the bottom of the screen. But wow, it is absolutely spectacular. It's a lot more spectacular than Samyang itself. You walk through a gorge to get into it, and then you can just look up, you're inside a cave. It's absolutely amazing. So, got some cracking pictures there. I'll give you a quick tour of our van. A little table and a sink. A fridge over there. There's Alan at the back there, letting some light in. Yep, the table comes down, the two legs come off, and the top of the table comes off. It just packs down. These bits here, these come off, and it lies down. There's definitely space for 3 people to sleep in, as advertised, but plenty of space for 2. And there's a view from the back. Some storage space down here. And around here we've got the fridge. Some water and beers in there, which runs when the car battery's running. So we jumped in the van and headed along Route 1, stopping off at a few iconic landmarks. The first one being Skogafoss. As you can see, it's a very popular spot, so I would suggest coming here at sunrise or sunset or during the night to do some astral work. I was actually here in March this year when the conditions were slightly better, so I didn't bother taking any images. We did, however, climb the many stairs to the vantage point where you get spectacular views looking right down the waterfall. Even though we were out of breath climbing the stairs, we were actually quite glad to get the blood flowing again and get a bit of heat back in our bodies. It was absolutely freezing. We continued heading along Route 1 towards the most southerly point in Iceland, a town called Vik. As you will see, weather conditions weren't in our favour, but we still walked away with a few dark and moody shots that I was very pleased with. Well, we stopped off at another place that I cannot pronounce. I'll put the name across the bottom. And the rain's on. Light rain, but enough to soak you and enough to make the view unvisible. But we're going to head out anyway, see what we can come up with. Hopefully not get swept away by any sneaker waves. It's a dangerous area, this. But we will obviously be careful. Although this is a very photogenic area, there are signs everywhere warning tourists of the dangers of the sneaker waves. Sadly, there has actually been a few fatalities at this location, so great care is needed, especially on days like this when the weather is not playing ball and it's very windy. So myself and Alan didn't venture too far from the viewing points, and we still managed to come away with some absolutely stunning images of this area. I used the rocks in the foreground and the cliffs to frame this shot, and a 6-stop ND filter just to smooth out some of the water, get some contrast and leading lines with the waves leading your eye right out to the pinnacle. For this next image I wanted to capture a wave crashing and also a wave receding back to sea, so I took 2 separate images and combined them in post. The first image I used a shutter speed of 1/200th of a second, which was fast enough to allow me to capture the wave as it rolled and crashed, and a second image of around 15 to 20 seconds, which allowed me to capture the wave receding back to sea and get some contrast with the white wave rolling over the black sand. Found the biggest apples ever.
That is massive.
Hold it in your hand, let's see it fold it flat. Jeez, oh. View right out the supermarket door. Head up here a bit. Lots of big, huge gaps in the ground down there. We don't have crampons, so we need to be careful. Incredible. That is Alan up there. That's the camera with the towel hanging over it. Taking pictures of me standing down here. Wow, what a place. There's a glacial path going right up through the glacier there. If you're going to do the cave walk and the glacial walk. Wow, absolutely stunning. Well, what a day we've had. We have been all over. We went along the south coast as far as Vic. Visited quite a few beaches, a few landmarks which I can't remember or pronounce any of the names, but decided to camp at Hela. We're going to do the Golden Circle tomorrow, but pulled into the campsite, clear skies, looked above us and the aurora's out, so we are absolutely buzzing. We're going to get a quick bite to eat. It's to be KP4 tonight and clear skies where we are, so we're hopefully we're going to get some more aurora action later. But anyway, we're going to get some dinner and our pint. Cheers. Cheers. Well, that's us back in the camper van. Just getting a little heat. I've got the heater on down here. The aurora is out on full force, so I'm going to get out and do some time lapse. We're on a campsite, so I've not got that interest in a foreground. No big waterfall or anything to take a picture of, but there's a nice road up there, there's some nice trees as well, which is pretty rare. In Iceland you don't really see many trees, so it should look like a nice Christmassy scene with hopefully the aurora dancing above it. But while we heat up, we're going to cool down actually with a beer as well.
Hand warmers in one hand, beer in the other. But the key tip is to switch it up, so change hands every gulp.
Oh, hands are like blocks of ice holding that beer, but still getting drank. Well, I've just got the camera set up, and myself and Alan are out shooting some aurora time lapse. So yeah, 150 pictures to go. The full sky is lit up. It is absolutely amazing. The lights out in the distance here are the campsite. So I've come back a bit. We've got some trees in the foreground here. There's a little bit of foreground interest, but the main attraction is the night sky, the aurora dancing above us. Absolutely amazing. So I'm taking 150 pictures at 20 seconds each, with a 2-second gap, so that the sensor has enough time to cool down in between each shot. 135 to go. I don't know if the camera's focusing or not on that, but that should look quite good. There's a lot of movement in the sky. We'll see how it goes. Well, it's about 7 AM on Monday morning. We are up after a very, very, very cold night. We're back in the common room here. We're going to get porridge, oats and some coffee. Try and get heat into us. We were in here last night and used this tap here, but we came in this morning just to give you a scale of how cold it is here. The tap is frozen solid and there's an icicle hanging out it. Doesn't even move. That's us on the road again. 8:45, the sun's not even up yet. It's due to come up about 9:30, 24 minutes past to be exact. So we're going to head up. We're going to do the Golden Circle tour today, but we're going to head to another name I cannot pronounce. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce. I'll put it across the bottom. It's a 45-minute hike up through this valley, and up the top you can bathe in a hot river. Apparently some parts of it are over 40 degrees. So we'll see. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting in and getting a good heat again, because it is chilly, very chilly. But what a night last night. That was absolutely incredible. The Northern Lights, the most intense display I've ever seen. It was absolutely incredible. Got some amazing pictures. It was great just to stand and witness that. Anyway, over and out. Just keep it -4 out here. We're hiking up this hill. Everything's covered in frost. Yeah, all the rivers and streams going down here are roasting hot. Whew, and I'm out of breath. Look at this, surreal. Sign back there telling you not to go anywhere near this one. It's over 100 degrees. Absolutely amazing, isn't it?
I know.
That's class.
What's this one called?
Don't know. I know I can see the word, but I can't pronounce it. So this is where we've eventually come out at. We're going to go swimming somewhere in here. This river is apparently perfect temperature for a pruduced, which is a Scottish word for a bathe. That's the changing rooms. Let's do this. Oh, it's roasted.
I'm floating away.
You can just see all the frost behind you, but it's steaming. You're in the river swimming. This certainly was one of the most surreal experiences of my life. Hiking up with a temperature of around -5, being surrounded with snow-capped hills, and then stripping off in the freezing cold and diving into a nice natural hot river. I can't recommend this highly enough. It doesn't cost a penny to do this excursion. You park the car, go for a short 45-minute hike, and then jump into a hot river. It really doesn't get any better than that. It's such an exhilarating and rewarding experience, and certainly one of the coolest things I've ever done. We then headed along the popular Golden Circle route towards Gullfoss, another iconic waterfall. This location was very exposed and very, very cold, but I did manage to capture one image here before my fingers went totally numb. The last stop of the day, which was very close to our campsite, was the Geysers, or Geysers, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And we stopped off for some pizza, a burger and a well-earned pint at our campsite for the night. Well, our last and final destination for this Iceland trip was at Brúarfoss waterfall. Yet again, another absolutely breathtaking waterfall. There's compositions everywhere here. I tried out a few different shots here, mainly using a 16 to 35mm wide angle lens, shooting at 16mm. This allowed me to capture the full waterfall and the nice foreground, the blue leading line leading up to the waterfall. However, I also used a 135mm prime lens, which allowed me to zoom in to various intimate sections of the waterfall, and I was really pleased with how those images turned out. Well, that's about it for this vlog. I'll leave you with a couple of images from Brúarfoss, and once again, thanks for taking the time to watch. Cheers.